One, two, three. Let's start rolling solo. Hello, and welcome to Rolling Solo, one of the internet's premier solo Daggerheart actual play program. Or at least that's what we tell ourselves here. I'm Paul. I am the players and the DM for this game, the GM. And today we are still playing our ongoing campaign, featuring our twin jackalopes, Soot and Shade, in the land of the Wither Wild, as they pursue the Fanewraith through the Fanewick, on their way to, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Treespire. A place where we have not been, but hopefully we will get to today. I think I'm going to skip most of the recap because it takes a long time. And if you're watching episode 7, you probably know what's going on anyway. But to recap just what happened last episode, while Soot and Shade were following the Fanewraith, they got turned around. And then when they got turned back on the path, blocking their path was a certain what was this guy's name? Abellus, a Galapa who they had met earlier in the campaign, who saw them coming and decided that they had nefarious intentions, which is basically true, as far as from the Fanewraith's point of view, and has come forward to stop them. And so that's where we are right now on a mountain pass, with Abellus and Soot and Shade facing off against each other, and that is our moment. So with that, let's get started. The situation is tense. Abellus stands holding his quarterstaff, facing down Soot and Shade. Soot, having had his magical steed knocked out from under him with the stick, or with this quarterstaff, is standing on the ground, poised to fight or flee. He's not sure which. Shade quickly dismounts her steed from behind him, and kind of stands to back him up. Let's see what we have that could help in this situation. Okay, what we have is, and I should have read that to you, I'm sorry. I will go ahead and read it to you now. They have Spectral Mist. Mark a stress to summon an eerie mist that turns you and any targets within close range momentarily incorporeal. While a creature is incorporeal, they can move through solid objects and are immune to physical damage. So, that is one thing that Soot is considering. Another is he could attack. Shade, on the other hand, really at this moment, I don't think she has anything but attack spells. She's got Thought Delver in her loadout, which allows her to read the surface thoughts of somebody else's mind, but the only person she would be interested in that for right now would be probably Abellus. And it's pretty clear what he wants. Any targets within close range momentarily. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think that I don't have a lot of fear to spend, and even if I did, I don't think it would matter, because Soot has plenty of stress to mark. So he is going to mark 1 stress. And he is going to turn himself and his sister incorporeal. And the two of them, a mist gathers around them. As Abellus is facing off with them, this mist gathers around them, and then suddenly, they're gone. And the mist begins to flow its way up the cliff, away from where Abellus stands, ready to attack them. He will attempt to make his way up the cliff behind them, but of course, since they don't have to take paths, I think that they have a slightly more direct route. So they should be able to get... Now, it doesn't say what it does for your movement. It just says that a creature becomes corporeal again after they pass through a solid object, and that while a creature is incorporeal, they can move through solid objects. So if they can move through solid objects, they can move. So they're going to move as a mist. They're going to flow up the cliff. Abellus curses, he didn't hate spellcasters. Turns around, starts lumbering, this big Galapa kind of moving his way up the cliff. And I guess we'll see if we if the twins can beat him up the cliff. What kind of a roll would we use for that? We could just do a straight oracle roll, and say that they either do or they don't beat him up the cliff. We could do an opposed roll. I think we should do a fortune roll. So we'll just do straight up fortune, and see if they make it up the cliff. I guess I'll use the some fortunes, since that's what I've been using. Plot unfolding machine, fortune telling apparatus. This is a deterministic. They either do or they do not beat him up the cliff. So do they beat him up the cliff? This is a D10 roll. Let's see what we get. 2. No. They make it up to the top of the cliff, and unfortunately, the mist kind of has to flow. It only has so much movement. The Galapa manages to basically, by dint of running and kind of tiring himself out, he makes it up to the top of the cliff just as their mist is creeping over the side. They can continue flowing, but they don't really have much of an advantage. He's caught up with them, and they are... their hope of escape, of having a moment to avoid being in confrontation, is at an end. They will, in fact, have to deal with this turtle. They've tried convincing him, they've tried talking to him, but nothing so far has worked, and he seems pretty riled up at this point. He just says, "You know, I can follow you all day," and they make it up the side. So they're at the top of the mountain, and they can go through the pass ahead of him. And try and outrun him on the downhill, but that seems, since they couldn't outrun him on the uphill, it seems even less likely that they'll be able to outrun him on the downhill. The mist just goes too slowly. So this was a gambit that didn't work. They... Who's going to act first, Shade or Soot? And did I remember to make stats for this guy? Because that's going to be important here. So let's see if we have stats for Abellus. Wow, I gave him 9 hit points, a relentless 2, a 17 difficulty, spend a stress to avoid 1 damage, and thresholds of 20 and 32. He's kind of bad. He's real bad. He hits with 3d12 plus 5, which is not awesome, but it's a good start. That should kind of rock their world a little bit. I think Shade will... well, this doesn't have a save, and it takes 2 stress, so she is going to come out of her incorporeal form. This is not even... She doesn't even have to come out of her form to do this. It's not an action roll. And that's what the spell says, is... through solid object or make an action roll. Shade did not make an action roll. But I do think it's... you can't cast as a whatever you need to do to cast, whatever Shade does to invoke her warlock patron, whatever hand motions she makes or bits of incense that she burns. In this case, wrapping a small chain around her hand. She can't do that while in mist, so she has to intentionally drop out of misty form, and she will temporarily chain Abellus. Abellus is now chained. I don't have a lot of fear to spend, so we'll just mark these chained. You can't have more than 1 creature chained at a time. She has no intention of doing so. That is going to be what she does. She will also... spend a stress to pull her blighting... Well, no, she's got her scepter, which is a d6, which blighting strike is d6 plus 1. It's not that much better, so we'll leave our build as it is and move on. that is her move. Then she will also go ahead and from a distance she will attack him with her scepter, trying to just fire off takes the scepter and brings it around and fires off a bolt of energy to see what effect that has. Okay, so that's an 18, 19, 20, 20, 22 to hit with hope, so that will hit. And we will gain that hope. And we are rolling 4d6 for our proficiency right now. I think, yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 6, 12, 14 damage. Okay. So on Abellus, 14 damage is, I believe, just minor damage. So he takes one shot off of that. And that will be what Shade has to do this turn. We switch over to Soot. Soot moves very close to Abellus. The mist drifts up as Abellus is distracted because Shade has taken a shot at him. Soot will move up and make a spellcast roll, which will definitely take him out of mist form. Okay, that looks like a 7 to me. Yeah. With hope, but it misses. So he's got that hope, but he misses, and on a miss, that gives Abellus a chance to make his swing. So let's bring out Abellus's sheet. Okay, so he moves into very close range and attempts to cast a wicked spell on Abellus, who is attempting to siphon essence, pull something out of him, but this fails. So Abellus will then move into hit. Now, she has something. But she is not within very close range. She stayed within far range, so she's not going to be able to do this on this turn. He will roll +3 to hit. Rolling a d20. He's attacking Soot. That is a 13. That will almost certainly hit. Let me see. 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, definitely hits. Definitely hits Soot. Soot will take 3d12 plus 5 damage. Let me just grab some d12s here. You're a d12. You're a d12. You're a d12. So that's 25. Which is severe damage for that is severe damage for Soot. Soot will immediately take 3 hit points. Abellus will spend a fear to attack again. It will hit again. This time doing 8, 19, 24 damage, which is again severe. We'll mark an armor. Another armor. So we'll mark an armor on this hit and the previous hit. I completely forgot I could do that, so I'm letting it go. So that those are both just major hits, but those are pretty major. But he's chained. And because he's chained, the target of their attack reduces the number of hit points they mark by 1. So he'll mark 2 armor, but he'll only have taken so far 2 hit points. So he's marked 2 hit points, he's marked 2 armor. He started this with 1 armor already marked, so he has 1 armor left. And but Soot is doing much better than he was just a second ago when I reread that rule. So that is Abellus's turn. We will go back to Soot, who is going to respond. He's going to attempt to siphon essence again. This is his best move, he thinks. Okay, that's a 9, yes, and that's a 7, so that's a 16, plus 4 for knowledge, so that would be 20, which is above the 17 that is the difficulty, so that will hit, and he will roll 4 d20s. Alright, so that's an 18, that's a 12, so that's... oh, and he gains a hope. Soot gains a hope. And he does 38 plus 9, 47 points of damage, which is severe damage for Abellus. So Abellus will take 3. And initiative will remain with us for the moment because, you know, I think somebody made a roll with... No, it was a miss, not a roll with fear. And that was a roll with hope. So all is well. Bring us up to Shade. What is Shade gonna do? Shade is going to move into melee. She moves up into melee with Abellus and attempts to kind of shock stick him with her scepter. So this is a again, this is a presence roll. 17 difficulty. Okay. Hard to see, but that's a 12. That's a 7, so that's a 19 with hope. So Shade will take that hope. And because she melee attacked with the scepter, she does d8 damage. So I need some d8s here. 2d8. 3d8. 4d8. Ooh, not bad. Okay. Total of 20, I think, right? That's 5, that's 7, that's 12, that's 8, that's 20. So just 20 damage, which is just in his major threshold. So he will take 2 damage. And then I'm just going to take the spotlight. I'm not even going to pay for it. Because they've both attacked, and it just makes sense in the narrative that he would get a response. And you know, Daggerheart kind of has a rule that, you know, one way you can make a GM move is if you really, really want to, essentially. And I really, really want to. So here we go. He will attack. he will attack Shade. Seven. He is +3 to hit. That's 10. That misses. I will now spend my last fear to activate Relentless. That will hit. So he will come in on Shade, and he will do... Except... Nope, it's too late. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. Six, 5, 11, +5, 16. That is her minor damage threshold. Or major damage threshold. So she will take major damage, but she's just going to, because he's chained, he does 1 hit point less. So Shade will mark 1 hit point off of that. And then Soot will go. Siphon Essence is just a free hit. Oh! You clear a number of hit points equal to the number of hit points the target marked from this attack. So he actually cleared all of his hit points from that Dread Domain card. Siphon Essence did a massive amount of damage and drained some hit points. So we'll do that again. He will back up and make a spellcast roll against a target within very close range. That is, and they are rolling really well. That is an 18 with hope. That is 4d20 of damage. That's 20. That's 18. That's 48. That's above his major threshold, so he will take 3. And Essence Siphoned. Except he will not, because I forgot that he had this ability. So I'm going to do a little retconning. I'm going to say that on the last 3 attacks, he's marked Distress. To avoid 1 damage, because he can avoid 1 damage per marking 1 stress. So I forgot I could do that. We're doing it. Although I do feel like I did not make Abellus nearly tough enough. Not anywhere close. Shade will attack him now. Again, attacking with her shock stick scepter. That will miss, and it will miss with fear. So I will get a fear. Alright, so I got a fear, and with that, it goes back to Abellus. However, Shade is going to spend 1 favor. He sees he's getting nowhere with Soot. So he's going to attack Shade. She just missed him, and now Abellus will riposte with a shot at him. And that will be... she will mark a favor to make his attack die a d12 rather than a d20. And that's a 1. So he misses. Bring Soot back in. Oh, nope. He will now attack Soot. She will not spend the favor this time. because I just have this feeling that my bad guy is rolling balls. So that's that for him. That is obviously a miss on a 4. Even if he's +3 to attack, so that's a 7, so that does not come anywhere close to Shade or Soot. So Soot will now attack him again with Siphoning Essence, because it's a boss spell and it's doing really well. That's 11 plus 5 is 16. Plus 4 is 20. That will hit. That will do 20. Well, that's 30 plus 20 is 57. It's 57 damage. Abellus will mark a stress. He will mark 2 stress to only take 1 damage on that roll. Shade will go after him now. You know what? I didn't even look at that. There were just too many dice in there. We're going again. Okay. They're just rolling bricks. They're rolling so well. That's another... Shade gets another hope. On that roll with hope. That's 8. Plus 5 is 13. That would be 1. That's 1 damage. And he's going to have to take that 1 damage. And with that 1 damage, Abellus can mark a stress, but then he becomes vulnerable. He'll mark his last stress and avoid that. But he's marking that stress. He kind of goes down on one knee as Soot again, with a has a small sprig of evergreen in his hand and is kind of powdering up the, kind of rubbing on the leaves and making a bit of a powder. And the powder focuses and spins and shoots out as he tries to siphon the essence in. And that is a critical success. So, gain a hope, he'll clear stress. That is Shade. Where is Soot? You'd think I couldn't lose these things, because there's only so much space around me. But you would be severely mistaken. Here he is. Shade. Soot. Soot will knock out a stress. He'll gain a hope. I'm not even going to bother rolling because that's 80 hit points of... That is 80 damage on just the base of the spell. So, Abellus has no more stress to burn, and he just simply goes down unconscious on the ground. Because again, Soot and Shade were not trying to kill him, they were trying to knock him unconscious and bring him to the ground. So that was ridiculously easy as a piece of combat. I thought it was going to be much tougher than it was. It's just, trying to get the balance right. Okay, so with that, Soot will spend 2 of the hope that he earned in that fight to conjure 2 more steeds, and our heroes will move on. Attempting to now, they are looking to at least be on the Fanewraith's tail and get closer to her as she moves closer to Nikta the owl. They're in the mountains. They can't go around. There's not enough paths for them to get ahead, I don't think, at this point. Although we could ask, are there paths for them to get ahead, and just see what our oracle says. So let's try the subjective oracle. Let's roll that d10. That's a yes, absolutely. They can get ahead, so they will attempt to get ahead. So once again, they are able to see where the Fanewraith's party is headed, and they believe that if they, kind of take a slightly different path with their doubled speed, they should be able to move around and get ahead of the Fanewraith. But, and it's a yes, absolutely on the 10, so they absolutely can do it. The question is, what happens as they do? So let's so as they're riding along, we'll play a random beat. Three, deal with a difficult challenge. Doesn't it feel like we've been here before? That we just had to deal with a difficult challenge last week? It does to me too. So I guess the question is, what kind of a difficult challenge? And I'm going to say this one is Muddy Bog. Say that they need to make say the Muddy Bog has a difficulty of it's a tier 3, so we'll give it the same difficulty that we gave our last the Dream Pollen place, and so that's a difficulty of 17. So it has a difficulty of 17. It's an agility rolled across. Being stuck. Taking a stress. strength to become unstuck. So you can struggle and die here. So that's one thing that the Muddy Bog has. What else can the Muddy Bog have? Can we have maybe some adversaries? Let's see. Let's see. Let's get some tier... let's see. Let's see what we've got in the way of tier 3 adversaries. I think they'll die if they go up against this thing. I'm looking at the adult flickerfly, which looks pretty bad, and does seem to be the kind of thing that would be in this kind of a place. So, let's try a combat with an actual tier 3 solo, and see if we kill our characters. They don't have to die, but it would definitely complicate things for them to go unconscious at this point. They have not taken a short rest. They are... How are they doing for... Jade's not doing great. Let's be honest. Soot's doing much better. So... And I don't have a lot of fear, so... we'll say that there's a possibility that they'll run into a flickerfly. Okay. Maybe they'll run into the flickerfly. Okay. Then... what else can we put in our bog? Stinky gas. Yeah. And that requires a... No. We'll... Yeah. Fear feature. Belching gas. Is like a strength reaction. Or a instinct reaction. Or take a stress. Okay. Really basic environment, but this is the challenge that they're going to go through. And if I get enough fear to summon a flickerfly, I will. And we'll decide how much fear that is when we get there. Let's say if I get like 3 fear, I'll summon the flickerfly. So they're crossing the muddy bog. They get down off the horses to try to lead the horses carefully. And we'll start with Shade and her agility roll. So she has an agility +2. She will not spend a hope because she doesn't really have anything to spend it on. So this is just basically a straight roll. It's a 15, 16, 17. She makes it, but she makes it with fear. So then we will go to Soot. It was +1 for agility. Soot will spend 1 hope on extra cautious, which will give him a +4 on this roll. So he's +5 on this roll. And it does him no good whatsoever, because even at +5, that is 6, 7, 11, 12. So not good enough. He is stuck. But he was stuck with hope. Shade is going to come over to help him with his strength roll. So she will spend a hope. And she will give him a d6 on this. So d6 to escape. Okay. He fails with hope. So he gets a hope. But he fails, and therefore he takes a stress. And he's going to have to try again. Shade is again going to try to give him a boost out of the fog, out of the bog, as his struggles pull him tighter together, tighter into the bog, and he begins to get stressed out from this. But she will spend another hope to reach down and try to tug him out. Okay, that'll do it. So he clears the stress, gains a hope. He critted. We never got to 3 fear. But I'm going to bring in this Flickerfly anyway, because I'm just curious as to how it works out. So, the Flickerfly is it takes 12 damage. Six stress. And as they get pulled out, it comes rushing in. And I am not going to spend my only fear at doing anything like that. But the two of them will spread out because they know that if they are both in the same place, it has some things that it can do. So the two of them will spread out a little bit and try to attack this Flickerfly. The first thing that the Flickerfly will do, or the first thing that they will do, is Shade is going to try to Siphon Essence. Okay, that's with Hope. So he pulls in a Hope. And that will do 4d20 of damage. Okay, so that's 8, 10, 26, 27, 28. And the Flicker Fly is 20, 35, so that takes 2 damage from that. Marks 2 hit points. Out of 12. And we'll keep flying. Shade moves back around and will take a stress. She will take a stress, which she doesn't have a lot of left. She will take a stress to pull Blighting Strike back out of her vault and put Deft Deceiver into her vault. And she will attempt to blightingly strike. She will move back as far as she can, which is still within close range of the Flicker Fly, because and will make a spellcast roll to see if she can Blighting Strike this thing. Okay, so that's 12. Plus 4 is 16. You did not I didn't, and it's with fear. And that misses. So, the... however... it's not a roll. She's going to mark 2 stress, her last 2 stress, before she's out of stress, to chain the Flicker Fly. So she chains the Flicker Fly. Now the Flicker Fly will attack. It rolls... it comes into Wing Slash at Soot, as Soot did the damage. That's a 5. Plus 3 is 8. Soot's evasion is 13, but when the Flicker Fly makes an attack, the target's evasion is halved, so even on a 5, it hits, and it does 3d20 damage. A bunch. That's easily major damage. He will mark his last armor to take that down to 1 damage because the Flicker Fly is chained. And so severe damage becomes major becomes minor, minor goes away. It will, however, attack him again. We'll hit again. It will do major damage again. He will take 2 hit points. And it will attack. It will hit again. It will do major damage again. So it will mark 2 hit points. Okay, so that is that. Soot is going to respond. Actually, if that's within close range, on that last one, Shade is going to make a spellcast reaction roll. Which I believe a reaction roll does not give us Hope or Fear. So this is +4 for Shade. Makes it. Does Hideous Retribution. Oh, nope, she doesn't. Because that costs a stress. And that's no good. So Shade will now make a spellcast roll against the target within far range. And attempt to hit the Flicker Fly. And she will. With Hope. She gains a Hope. To do D6 plus 1 damage. So she does 4d6 of damage. 8, 10, 13. That's minor damage on a Flicker Fly because its thresholds are 20. So it takes 1 hit point. But the next time it deals damage to an ally is reduced by half. Now Soot. So that was Shade. Now Soot will make his attack using Siphon Essence. Let me make sure my dice tray is still in the shot. Yeah, it's still fine. Okay. Soot, Siphoning Essence. 18, that is a hit. So Soot will roll 4d20. Oh, that's a good one. That was a 12. Actually, I think it was an 18, but who knows? 25, 30. It's severe damage. It's above the Flicker Fly's threshold, which is 20 and 35. So I think that's above 35. The 24. Yeah, 36. Okay, so it's above 35. So it's severe damage. Soot will unmark 3 hit points. That just can't be right. It's not right. He will not do that. It will not take 3 hit points. That spell is once per long rest. I was wondering why it was so damn good. So he stays marking his hit points that he had marked. So, still marking 4. He will do a different attack. We'll let him keep his roll. Knew that couldn't be right. Okay. So this is a great staff. He's doing D6 damage now. Which, even with that excellent roll, is just 1 hit point. But he still rolled with hope. The flicker fly is buzzing around trying to get a track on them. It can't get anything on them. They are being too successful and too attacky with it. Soot will spend some stress here. Okay. Mark 2 stress. To pull Siphon Essence out of his build. Put in Wall of Hunger. Okay. What does Wall of Hunger do? Well, we'll find out, because we're about to use it, I think. And then he will try to throw up a Wall of Hunger. So this is a spellcast roll of 13, using his knowledge, which is +4, so... Okay, so he makes that. We get a fear, and now we have created a visible wall of writhing necrotic energy in a line between 2 points within far range that lasts until you mark a hit point or cast this spell again. Any creatures inside the wall when it appears or who try to pass through the wall must mark 2 stress, then make a reaction roll. 16 on a failure, they are temporarily restrained by the wall. So, the flicker fly is inside the wall, and it makes a... it will now make its reaction roll. Oh, and the flicker fly... I should have started a countdown when it took damage for the first time. It's taken 3 damage. It's taken damage, I think, 4 times now. So this countdown should be at... two. Okay, so it fails. It is temporarily restrained by the wall. So it will attempt to escape the wall again. It's not taking any damage. $13. It is still restrained by the wall. So the flicker fly is not able to attack this round because Soot has cast up a wall of shimmering necrotic of writhing necrotic energy in a line between 2 points and kind of captured this fly in between them. So we'll go to Shade. And let's remember that the thing is chained as well. Nothing that she could possibly pull from her vault that would do any good, so she'll just make another blighting strike. Okay, that's a 9. and an 8, so that's 17 plus 4 is 21, so that hits. We're doing D6s of damage. We'll just roll. Well, here's another D6. And here's another D6. It's minor damage because there's no way on D6s we're getting up to 25. Which is where we need to get. No, to 20. I mean, there is a way, but it's unlikely. 8, 13, 14. That's just 1 damage. And on the 1 damage, the Flickerfly countdown goes to 1. Soot will leave it be for the moment with the wall. He's got it trapped in the wall. And will simply make a Great Staff attack. Which is a very far attack. So he moves backwards and will attack. And will hit. Doing D6 damage. That's crappy. That's 10, but, you know, every little bit helps. The Flickerfly will take 1 more damage. And will now breathe a hallucinatory gas in front of them to all targets in front of them up to far range. So I've had Soot and Shade kind of boxing the target from both sides. So evens it goes for Soot, odds it goes for Shade. Evens it goes for Soot. Soot must make a instinct reaction roll or be tormented by fearful hallucinations. So let's make that instinct reaction roll. Soot's instinct is... Oh, well, never mind. He makes it. It's a reaction roll, so the doubles don't really help, but, you know, there you go. So he is not haunted by horrible hallucinations. And we go back to 6. And the... we're still rolling with hope, so Shade will take her shot with a Blighting Strike. Is that a 7? That is a 7. That's a 7 plus 4 is 11. That's with hope, so we get a hope. So that's nice, but we miss. Because 11 plus 4 is 15. We need a 17 to hit, so we miss. The Flickerfly will attempt to break out of the Wall of Hunger. It will fail. It is still stuck within the Wall of Hunger. It is temporarily restrained, and it can't get out. Okay, so... yeah, that makes sense. That's... it's restrained. It can't do anything about it. I can't unrestrain it because it's inside the wall. So I will give Soot a shot at... using his Great Staff to, again, kind of shoot an energy bolt at this thing. He will miss. He will miss with hope, so he gets a hope. He has no room for hope. But the Flickerfly does get to attempt to break out again. It needs a 16. It does not get it. So this is turning into a bit of a slog. They've got the flicker fly struggling in this writhing force field while they try to shoot at it from afar. Shade comes in with her blight strike. That is an 8 plus 7 is 15 plus 4 is 19. That's a hit, but it's a hit with fear. But because it's a hit with fear, you get a fear. It's D10 damage instead of D6 damage. Okay, what do we got here? We got a 5, a 4, a 1. That's 20. 20 total. That is its major damage threshold. So our Flickerfly will take 2 damage. And it will attempt to get out of this wall. It took damage, so our countdown die goes down to 5. And it tries to escape. It does escape. It escapes. It goes straight for Soot, making its attack. So it makes its attack on Soot. I don't even know why we bother rolling. That will obviously hit. It does 3d20 of damage. That's 20. That's major damage. It is reduced by 1. Oh, the next time the target deals damage to an ally, it is reduced in half. So that's 20 plus 12 is 32 plus 9. It's still over 20. It's still high enough to be. It's not quite 46, is it? 20 plus 12 is 32. It's not 46, which would be, so reduced by half. This will be minor damage of 2, or a major damage of 2, plus, because the creature is still chained, it only does 1 damage. It will attack again. It will hit. Let's see, that's 31, that's the major damage. It will do 2 damage. And that is its turn. Soot is in a bad way. Shade is much better off. So, Shade is going to move over to Soot and use Shared Trauma. To clear some hit points from Soot. So instead of, she will clear 3 hit points off of Soot. And take those on herself. Shade, that's what Shade does. Soot marks a stress, conjures a mist. The two of them will split up again. And he will spend 3 hope so that they can make a combo attack. And the two of them, this is just the two of them attacking simultaneously from either side of the creature. So Soot rolls a 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 with Hope. Shade rolls a 19 with Hope. So we'll take that 19 with Hope. The two of them strike from both sides, and they do their damage together. So they're both rolling d6s, so we'll just roll 8d6. 9, well, 10, 14, 14, 15, 20. 20. So the Flicker Fly takes 2 damage. This countdown comes down. Can I use this again, Wall of Hunger? I can. Soot will cast Wall of Hunger again to attempt to restrain it again. So he has to make a spellcast roll of 13 to do this. Which he will with Fear. So I gain a Fear. Flickerfly is within the thing when it gets caught, so it marks 2 stress. After marking 2 stress, it will make an attempt to reaction roll its way out. It needs a 16. It will fail, so it remains stuck in the wall again. That was with Fear, though, so I'll activate it again, and it will attempt to break free again. Which it will fail again. So again, we dismiss one wall and bring up another one, and this writhing wall of necrotic energy has this Flickerfly kind of trapped and hovering in it. So then Soot. Shade will again attempt to strike with a Blighting Strike. Making a spellcast roll. That will hit with Fear. So gain a Fear. That will hit. It's D10s because it's with Fear. Alright, so that's 7, 14, plus 9, plus 5 is 28, which is above its 2 damage. And with that, our adult Flickerfly is defeated. That Wall of Hunger was clutch! And I'm going to spend my last Fear to belch gas at Shade from the swamp. And he has to proceed on a reaction roll 17. Instinct. He will fail. He will take a stress. He is now vulnerable. Oh, sorry. That's Soot. Shade. I said Shade. Shade will fail. She will take a stress. She is now vulnerable. Okay. Yeah, Soot has hardly any stress at all. Shade is just swimming in stress. Enough stress that she is vulnerable. So with that, they make their way out of the Muddy Bog. Um, wow. So even I did come into that a little hot, a little overpowered. I apologize for misreading that particular card. I knew it was too good to be true, and it indeed was. It's once per, is it once per long rest or once per rest? Siphon Essence is once per long rest. The target takes d20 magic damage using your proficiency. That would have made the fight against Abellus a lot harder, too. And probably this fight would have taken them out. They would have had to go incorporeal and disappear. But as it is, they are going to have to take a short rest, which they will do now. We're at an hour and 20 minutes. We will take a short rest when we next play. So those were 2 long combats. Or at least 1 very long combat. So thank you for watching all of that. It's this has been a lot of fun. I will see you next week. If you want merch, you can get merch. Some people like merch. And until next time, you know, keep rolling, y'all.